Okay, welcome to the inside of my Roberts C9950 cassette recorder. Quite a nice recorder with various good options and very widely used in the radio hobby. Now all of a sudden mine stopped recording, and when I depressed the record and play button in the normal fashion you could hear a lot of hissing, and in fact it was still playing. And I eventually discovered the reason for this, that the little spring that operates this switch here, which is the record switch, and fits onto the bottom of the cassette deck, had snapped, and there's the two bits. There's a little screw, a little piece of metal which stood up off the bottom of the deck and operated the switch when you press the button. Now I got in touch with Roberts and they wanted £7 to replace that little bit of metal, but then I discovered my old used bit of hacksaw blade, so fashioned my own. Just put a hole in it, fixed it in place, see it stands proud, and that engages on the little switch. It bends when you're looking at it like this with a speaker in the background. It bends slightly this way, but not a lot, and then when you carefully close the cassette player it will engage on the switch, operating it, and off you go, recording. I'm sure Robert's piece of metal was extremely fine, but I wasn't paying £7 for a little bit of tin. Oh, I should probably mention that the original one, let's see if we can see it, as you can see had a little notch which engaged on this little lug here. Now, I couldn't be bothered to make that, it was very difficult because of hacksaw blades being quite stiff. So what I did, I filed off the bottom of it and used a daub of super glue underneath the screw to hold it in place. You can see when you press the record button that it moves, you see, and that movement reaches down and operates the switch, and that's how it all works. And this has fixed it. Your piece of metal will need to be 19mm long. When bending for the paddle, you need to do it sharply at 4mm from the end, otherwise it will snag on the channel where it slides and prevent you from ejecting your cassettes. So as you can see, there has to be a gap here at the front. You see the movement is that way, and it comes back, and it mustn't foul this gap here because otherwise the mechanism won't release when you press the eject. Now all that remains for me to do now is put a little plug of super glue around the screw so that it can't move again, and that is the spring in place. Opening the cassette recorder, you have 6 screws. They're all clearly marked. One inside the battery compartment and one in each corner, plus the one in the middle. And then it sort of opens over. There we go. Roberts C9950 cassette recorder. Fully functional again for the cost of a used hacksaw blade. Use a large pair of clippers to cut it. Hole punch at one end to make the hole for the little screw to go through. I think it was a 1.5mm drill.